This is Sean Allen Cuts. Let's get started. What I'm doing is I'm starting my first guideline out with my Slimline Pros, and I'm balding it out. But what I'm doing is I'm doing it at an angle. I'm not going straight back when I'm balding it out. Kind of like a drop fade technique, but not really. What I'm using is the Magic Clip cordless with a #1 guard, and I'm going up like an inch. And I'm making sure that it's all the way even all around. Now what I'm doing is I'm using a no guard open with my 5-star seniors, and I'm going up a ½ inch right under that #1. And what I'm doing right here is I'm starting to take the first guideline out. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at each spot. If I see a little dark spot, I'm taking it out. Because that's what you do when you do a fade. You make sure everything is blended and all even. And the most important thing you need to do, make sure that your face is very organized. Now I'm using a #3. And I'm only using the flick out motion. I'm using my wrist and I'm flicking out. Now I'm using the OA guard, my black 5-star seniors. And I'm going right under that 3. And pretty much what I did, I skipped the #2 because, you know, you got to give the hair what it needs. Now I'm going right under that OA guard with my Andes Masters 1½ guard. And all I'm doing is working on that second guideline. And I'm just making sure that I'm blending everything out. I'm making sure that everything is all even. What I'm saying is making sure that it don't have any dark spot. Now I'm back to my #1. Now what I did was I already used all the steps. Now I'm just giving the haircut what it needs. I'm seeing all these dark spots and I'm just blending it. Like I said, I'm using my corners and I'm using a flick out motion. Now I'm using my other Magic Clips, but I'm using a wide blade because it's a 1/16 guard, which is right under a #1 guard, taking all the little lines out. Now I'm cutting all the extra hairs that I don't need off his beard, which is the split ends. It's very important when you have a beard to take out the split ends every time you get a haircut. But a lot of times, a lot of guys don't want you to touch their beard, but really you need to just snip all the hair that you don't need out. What I'm saying is that you need to make sure that you cut all the split ends out, because if you don't, then your hair gonna break out, and then you're gonna notice that you're gonna be losing a lot of hair. Now what I'm starting to do is line the beard up and use the face as a guideline. Like when I'm lining the inside of his beard, I use his eye as my guideline. Now what I'm doing is I'm just touching up his beard. I already lined it up earlier, but what I'm doing is taking my time and going back over the spots. Now I'm lining up the bottom of his neck, and what you need to do is you need to pull the skin back and make sure you get all the hair off of his neck. You need to move the neck strip and get all the hair that's under the neck strip, because they will be upset when they go home, look in the mirror and see a whole lot of hair. Now all I'm doing right now is I'm just touching up everything. I'm looking back and forth. That's why you see the camera moving back and forth. I'm just taking you guys on a journey as if you're cutting hair yourself. Like I said, I line it up from center, and then I look at it when I go all the way down, because you got to step back and look at it and make sure that the beard is perfectly even. Like I said, I did all my steps. Now I'm just giving a haircut exactly what it needs. I'm just stepping back, looking at it, making sure everything is all even. That's why you keep seeing me step back and then tap, and then step back and then I tap again. Now what I'm doing is with my Slimline Pros, I'm just freehanding the beard. Because sometimes you'll pick it out with your pick. You can use a guard, but I noticed that when you freehand it, it looks a whole lot better. So what you do is pick it out and then just cut it with your Slimline Pros or whatever clippers or trimmers you like to use to clean up beards. And then you'll notice that it'll look 10 times better. Now it's line up time. What I do, I start from the center and then I go from side to side. I call this a seesaw method. Now what you need to do, you need to make sure you don't push his hairline back. Nope. That's my answer. People don't like it when you push their hairline back. Amen. When you really don't need to. I know that it's light. But what you need to do is just be patient with the line up. Like, don't cut in the light areas, but just line it up. And every time it keeps coming, you'll notice that the hair will start just growing over the light spots, and eventually it disappears. Now I'm lining up on the side. And what I'm doing is I'm using my corners to make sure each part is sharp. Now it's time for the C effect. I'm just using my corners and using my Slimline Pros like a pencil. I'm drawing a letter C on the side of his head. That's what I mean when I say C effect. Now what I'm doing right now is, once again, I'm touching up. And sometimes you'll do a lot of work and then you'll look back and say, man, I need to do this and I need to do that. That's just the life of a barber. Now, I'm just blending the side of his head, making sure that first guideline is gone. And I'm just, once again, using my corners for that. And there you go. What I did on the top is I used a sponge. I call it the sponge fade. Appreciate everybody. Hit that thumbs up, like, share. This is Sean Allen, and I'm out. Peace.